Hey everyone, this is Aaron with Crypto Trends. Today is March 23rd, 2018. Just doing a live stream here on a stellar update. And I also did an update on my chart, let you guys see that. And, we're just covering some other stuff like that. Please keep in mind that this is not financial advice, just my opinion. Yeah, so here we go. Well, first off, let me show you my chart update. And as you can see, I updated my chart here. And yeah, I was doing a lot of TA on it last night. So, take a look at that, study it, etc. And that's how some of them look, right? That's how some of them look. And it's kind of funny to see that. And let me just open up the actual one that I drew a while back. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Let me zoom in. Okay, so this is like the overall sentiment of the market sentiment that I was getting, and this is back on March 3rd when I drew this out. So that was a snapshot at that time, and the sentiment. Okay, it's going to go up, and whatever. It's going to take a drop, and so right now we're kind of around in this period, but people are still thinking there's going to be a pretty big fall off, And I was watching this one YouTuber today, and he was drawing. Let me go ahead and back out of that. And he was drawing something similar to. Okay, let me get white here. I'll show you. Brush size 4. How's that? Yeah, that's big enough. Anyway, he was drawing something where it's going to be, I don't know, like this. And people were just pounding him in the comments. There were, I mean, I don't want to repeat some of the stuff, but the poor guy. So I could see where the sentiment here is still strong with a lot of people, and there's a lot of people think it's going to go down, etc. They see the FUD, whoa, it popped back down. Let's go over to Binance and see where we're at on BTC. And then, yeah, we're going to hit Stellar here in just a moment, so no worries. Taking a look at BTC here first, see what's going on. Okay, so there's that one little hump I drew right there. So I got that. I was expecting it to go up after that hump, and that was right around in here. So I was expecting it to go up a little bit, but instead it went down. Oh my gosh, it went down. Let me scroll in here. And the sentiment was just kicking in a little bit earlier. Keep in mind that this is not to scale. This is not like actually reflecting prices. It's kind of like the trend of things, okay? It's the trend. It's the market sentiment, what the general overall energy, the thoughts, and stuff that's out there, okay? So this is not to scale. Please keep that in mind. And you can't say, oh, I'm going to draw a line over here and, oh, well, that's the price is going to be. No. No, that's not it. It's all. Look at this as simply, okay, it's going to go up, and then it's going to go down, it's going to go up, etc. That type of thing, okay? Yeah. Anyway, back to good old buddy, our pal, Bitcoin. And it's trading about, 85.70 right now. And we'll zoom in here. Oh, that's on the 12-hour. Let me go to, I like the 4-hour. And in case you're wondering, this is Binance's desktop application that I'm using. And they just released one for Mac. So give it a try. It's kind of fun to play around with. You can do some more stuff. They have charting tools and stuff like that. But anyway, we're scrolling in here. So yeah, took a little dip, went up, hitting some red. Let's go look at the 5-minute just for the heck of it. Okay, so if you look at the 5-minute, yeah, it's basically doing some consolidation. All right, no big drops. And let's kick back over to the 1 hour. And I like to use the 1 hour. Well, let me skip to the 4. That might be easier. Now let's go to the day and scroll in. One thing to notice when you can scroll in and out and stuff like that. It's cool. But one thing to note is the volume here, the volume increasing. And this was a very important point. It's basically the end of this pattern here. So the game restarted here. Because like right around this area here is, if you can see it, is where the CO is picked up and accumulated the coins. And then if you don't know what a CO is, check out Wyckoff. If you're not familiar with Wyckoff, let's see if I can bring that up. WYCKOFF. Okay, okay. Wyckoff Trading Principles. Check that out. Okay, check that out. Also check out. Whoops, I need to learn how to type. Elliott Wave Trading. Check out Elliott Waves. Okay, that's part of your arsenal. Wyckoff, Elliott Waves. Elliott Waves is where you have like the. This is real quick. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, but for those that don't, you can go. Let's go over here on this side. What you do is you have counts. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you might see people doing that. They're doing Elliott Wave stuff. If you hear somebody talk about a CO, then they're talking about Wyckoff stuff, and check that out. And the one thing to always keep in mind is to keep volume in mind. And you notice how right here we had pretty big volume. That was the big amount up, right? Well, look at this volume just increasing. What is that telling you? I mean, what is that telling you? There's a lot more activity on here. Does that look like it's a total bear market collapse, that it's just over or whatever? No, that's a lot more volatility that's going to come. Okay, this is building up pressure. Think of it as a type of pressure, exactly, like a balloon. Okay, so you have a balloon, and the green spikes basically fill the balloon up with air. Okay, and imagine that there's like a little pinhole in the balloon, and as the balloon gets more and more inflated, like this, you can see that, hopefully you can, as the balloon grows larger and has like this little pinhole always in it, what happens is that as it expands, that little hole is going to expand and let more air out. And the quicker it goes, it's like boom, the quicker the hole becomes. But if it goes slow, what happens is that the little hole in the balloon that's letting the air out and is deflating, what happens is that it has time to basically heal itself. And so that little that hole, from being way out like this, can heal. That's like during the consolidation process, where things kind of run flat. So like in let's see, let's go to a different time slot there. So like in this area here, okay, that's where the hole is starting to repair itself. It's shrinking, it's self-healing. So that's one way to take a look at it, which is quite interesting. To take a look at it that way, you can also take a look at it from actually a thermodynamic perspective, where you see this as temperatures with heat exchange. That's another way to take a look at it. You can also look at this as being, you can incorporate physics actually into technical analysis of all things. Thinking, oh man, I'm crazy. He's talking about physics and technical analysis. Yeah, you can think of as the downward motion, because everything wants to go back and maintain equilibrium, where equilibrium is zero. And so there's always a continuous downward pressure on things, and that would be just like gravity. Yeah, and one thing here is that you can also do, let's go over to GIMP. You can do a formula like F equals 1/2 G 1 times M2 divided by S squared. So you can actually use this formula if you don't have a clue of what I'm talking about. That's fine. For those that have studied physics and stuff, they know what I'm talking about. And you can look at this being the M1 and the M2 as being, let's say, this point or this area here, and then this area here, and the mass, these are like masses. And so you can say, okay, well, what are the masses? And then you have the distance. Anyway, you can apply something like that. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Okay, enough of this screwing around. And yeah, so I thought that'd be funny. I have a strange sense of humor, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, good old Stellar. Stellar. What is up with Stellar? Let's go back to Binance. And we'll take an ETH pair. I have to do ETH because I just have an issue. I can't buy things with Bitcoin. I just, do I want to part with a Bitcoin? And it never happens. So I get ETH and I buy them with Ether. Anyway, that's just me. So we're taking a look at this chart here once again on the 6-hour candles for XLM Stellar. And if you've seen my previous videos, I've often said it's going to be a stellar year, certainly. Okay, anyway, yeah, it looks like it's had a pretty good rise here, right? And it's just slowing down, but notice the curvature here. One thing to note is the curvature. So you notice how this is like a curve that's going up. It's like a cup, right? It's going, you know, the cup is up. And also you have a curvature here where instead of it being bowed, it's bowed to the left instead of bowed to the right. Let's see if I can make that a little bit more apparent. Well, let's take a look at this one. This curve here, this parabolic, is bowed to the right, okay? This one is fairly straight. And that's one thing to also note is how it bows, because that tells you, once again, the physics thing, different rate of acceleration. Or different rate of acceleration can also be thought of as a increase or decrease in pressure, right? Anyway, okay, here's Stellar. So what is it doing? It's looking pretty good right now. It's at 23 cents. It's at 23 cents, guys. That's awesome. Let's go take scrolling out here again. Okay, so 23 cents, or at the Sats, it's at 44,300. Anyway, it's about right here. So about right at this area here. So about this area. That's almost before we hit the big bull market, right? So right around in this area. Looking back somewhat historically, not way back. But Stellar's looking, to me, looking kind of tasty. Yeah, it's off of this big jump here, which is nice. It's going down. It looks like it's stabilizing. Kind of, I think it's going to be something like this, stabilize a bit. Maybe start going down. So I'm looking at something very close to this pattern right here, just being plopped down right here. And so we'll see. But the thing that's cool with Stellar is, well, let's take a look at some other ones just for comparisons. Okay, let's go to the 1 day. Okay, so that one's kind of the same. Ripple's looking good. So that one's kind of the same. Anyway, this is all because that's how Bitcoin's moving. They're all grouped up. Anyway, let's go look at some news on Stellar. So this is a link that I'll put into the video stream, and I wonder if I could do that in the chat thing. Maybe you can find it. I think I'll try doing it in the chat window. See if I can do that. Okay, there it is. So I put it in the chat window. Anyway, this is a pretty good article on Stellar Lumens, and it's about where they actually had an AMA, excuse me, with Jesse Lund, who is the IBM blockchain vice president. Yeah, so if somebody knows about blockchain and IBM, it's him. And we're just going to read these real quick for you. So IBM is already using Stellar Lumens Live for cheaper and faster cross-border transactions. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. These are just highlights from his AMA. The world is very, very close to seeing central bank issued digital currency tokens. Yay! And there's a very good chance of it being on the Stellar network first. Okay, awesome. That's pretty cool. Very, very close. Yeah, we like to hear that. Stellar Lumens are intended to be the primary bridge asset in IBM's Universal Payment Solution. Cool. So they're not going to develop their own. They're going to use Stellar Lumens. Awesome. Okay, that's good news. The Stellar Distributed Exchange. If you didn't know, Stellar has like a built-in DEX. Okay, it's really cool. Check out Stellar. Do your homework. Check out Stellar. Read their papers. They have a ton of information on their site. But the DEX will be a centerpiece of future strategies. Interesting. What does that tell you? Can you guess what might happen from that? And let's see what this next one says. IBM currently has no plans to issue its own tokens, right? And is instead pushing Stellar Lumens as the coin for its clients. And who are its clients? A lot of the big banks and stuff, right? And you might not like the big banks, but the banks are important for fiat to crypto exchange. That's I mean, that's a bank, right? That's what they help us with. Okay, so Stellar is an integral part of IBM's strategy for the future, and IBM is building its own solutions on top of the Stellar system. There you go. So IBM is what one would call a true partner, a true partner that's integrating Stellar stuff and plans on actually using Lumens. Very, very, very good news. And this last one, IBM aims to use Stellar to corner. this is cool. IBM aims to use Stellar to corner the international payment system. Ooh, who else is doing that? Ripple. In direct competition with Ripple, and already has a long list with. Let me read about this because this is very exciting. Okay. In direct competition with Ripple, and already has a long list of clients set to go live with Stellar Lumens international payments in Q2, quarter 2 of 2018. So we have seen a whole bunch of partnerships listed by Ripple, right? But they're not using the actual tokens. They're not using the XRP. They're they're not. It would be cool, but they're not. They're just it's I'm not putting Ripple down. Ripple is an awesome project. Okay, it is totally awesome. But people want to see adoption of the XRP token because that's what everybody has, and they want to see the price rocket up. Absolutely. But if you've noticed, Stellar, if you've taken a look at Stellar, what is their logo? It's a rocket. Oh my gosh, it's a rocket. Wow. What a coincidence. There are no coincidences. So I'm pretty bullish on Stellar and have been for quite some time. And keep in mind that wait, I gotta go back to that. Actually, because I wanted to show this. I'm not buying for what's right out here. If we let's say let me shrink this down. Let's see. I can scale this whole thing. Let me shrink this down. Okay, and let me put a new layer in here. I'm using GIMP. If you haven't used that before, I'm gonna make it white. Whoops, and then I gotta go down. Okay, so let's say this is the trend. Okay, and I'll just use orange here. Okay, so where I'm seeing like right now, this is the market, and this is about the right size. And yeah, this can go up or this can go down, whatever. Let's just pick this point here of where it's going or where I think it's going. over the long term. And, oh, darn it. There. Let me merge. Okay, now I can draw on both of them. Yay. Okay, so let's say about this scale here. Let's say it goes up like this. And so that's about the scale. So right around in this area, about here, about the top of this, would have been around the $1 trillion market price, right? If it shot up to here, because about this time we were around what, 7.5, 8, right? 850, 850 billion. So right around here would be 1 trillion. And then right around up in here would be 2 trillion. It's like, oh my gosh, 2 trillion, that's a lot. IBM aims to use Stellar to corner the international payment system. Sounds something like JP Morgan would say about the silver, about their silver they love. In direct competition with Ripple, and already has a long list of clients set to go live with the Stellar Lumens International Payments in 2018 Q2. Yeah, that and other things coming down the road. What do you think that's going to do over the long term? It's just going to spike interest up. Wall Street wants this thing. This is Wall Street's new toy. It's countries are looking at it big time. The thing with Binance going to Malta, that's huge news. If you didn't know that, Binance is going to open up in Malta, and they're going to they're looking at it having fiat interchange, fiat on ramp, like you do with Coinbase. Huge news. Huge things are happening here. And although the market sentiment might be kind of down, well, what do you do when market sentiment's down? That's when you look for opportunities to buy. When things, oh, this stuff is garbage, it's junk, I'm giving up. Oh, that's when I get excited, my ears perk up. Especially when it's like end of the world, like they're going to pass laws where they're going to just make the whole thing illegal, etc. Wow, you know, I'm like, I'm waiting for that news, and that's when I'm you know, well, I like to get in on the really bad news areas. Anyway, long-term thing. This stuff is not going away. It's taking over, and the banks and the countries and the senators and the congressmen and all the representatives around the world can see it. Tremendous opportunity. Don't forget that, okay? Don't forget that. You guys are early adopters. Anyway, let me see if I have anything on the chat. Probably not. This is a strange time. I hope you guys can see me. And that's about it. So, you know, I'm just thought I'd do that and basically say thanks for watching. Have a great day. Like the video, hit like, subscribe, and get notified of when I drop my next video, and watch for Stellar. Also, real quick, other things to take a look at besides Stellar to keep on your radar. Oh, one thing that I did was Zilliqa. And, oh, it's up 12% today. Nice. Wow, I haven't looked at it today. That's pretty cool. But if you can look and see when I did my last video on Zilliqa was right around in this time frame. Take a look at the video, look at the chart, and compare it. Okay, same as, see if we can go here, KuCoin, go to KuCoin markets, see how this one's doing. TQY. Okay, so that's down. Wow, look at that sell wall. Anyway, when I was doing TKYs, you know, it's about this area here. And then, you know, you might have got in right around in this area, which would have been good news for you guys. But anyway, it's jumped up, which is nice. This is on the 8. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, zoop, pretty nice growth and nice pullback. You have a nice descending, basically, triangle here that's coiling up. So it looks like it could go sideways a bit, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But this is the key, TKY, and it's on KuCoin. Keep your eyes on that. So we have the key. We have Zilliqa. Zilliqa is a great project. Also another one. Let's see if I can find it. Starts with an N. N. Come here, N. Oh. Oops. NIO. Look at that. Nice downward trend. So it's down pretty far already, and it looks like it's finally stabilizing, like in here. Could it dump? Sure. Could it go up? Sure. But, you know, 66 bucks. Oh, it's $66.60. Oh, boy. Anyway, you know, NIO's a good project, in my opinion. And, it has some legs in front of it to go, as well as a whole bunch of other coins out there. But keep an eye on NIO, keep an eye on Zilliqa, keep an eye on XLM for sure. I just love Stella. Also, one of interest that's interesting is Litecoin. I mean, look at this chart now. Look at that. This is on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 6. Well, that doesn't look very good. Come on, thing. Let me scroll in a bit. It's one thing about Binance. You have those huge spikes and it just throws the scale all off. Okay. So how's that looking to you? You know? How's that looking? Yeah. Look at this volume here. A lot of volume. Right in here. This volume. Look at all that volume right there. That's where the CO is buying in. Okay? CO's buying in. Let's bump this up. Let's give this a test. See if we can push it up higher. Nope. Okay. It's not going. Oh, but it's going up slow. Let's ride it up. Oh, gosh, here. You know, maybe I can bump this thing up again. Will it take it? Test, test, test. That type of thing. Check out Wyckoff. Look at this huge amount of volume. Put Litecoin on your radar. Okay, Litecoin is on my radar, that's for sure. Also, one of particular interest is Lisk. Lisk has their API for JavaScript coming out very shortly, and that's going to be interesting. A lot of JavaScript kitties out there. Anyway, that's about it. You know, like, subscribe, get notified, and thanks so much. Have a great day. Best luck to everyone. Checking off. See you guys. And just shutting this down. Oops, I do it over here. Bye.